What is going on YouTube and y'all squad? This is your boy Yakatis. This is your review for Real Housewives of Miami Season 6, Episode 5. I remembered to change venues this time because y'all did not let me know that was still up last week. But nevertheless, here we are. So, let me see. We start off with Marisol. She has her arm in a brace. And she says she's pretty much self-diagnosed herself. She hasn't went to the doctor. So we don't know exactly what's wrong with her, but apparently her left forearm area is hurt, is in a sling. And she says her hip is hurting. We then see Kiki walking with a walker, and Kiki had even said, you know what, maybe this is my payback for clowning Adriana how I did her last season. And again, sometimes y'all gotta be careful what you say on people because you never know how it's gonna come back to you. I'm just gonna tell you. And Kiki lets us know that Nicole was the first to check up on her, which is great. Nicole is a stand-up person, but she still hasn't heard anything from Larsa, and feels away because Larsa's now in a relationship, because when Larsa was single, they would talk every day, and now she misses her friend. So we get Alexia, Todd, Nicole, and Anthony. They're in a cooking class. They're cooking pizza, or they're making pizza. They're kneading the dough, which is a process, and you can tell none of them cook. Well, let me not say that. I'm not gonna say that none of them cook, but none of them have dealt with dishes that involve yeast, because kneading is a whole thing. Okay, and speaking of which, I'm probably gonna have to do some kneading this week because guess what? Thursday at sunset is night one or day one of Hanukkah. I'm so happy, y'all know that's my favorite holiday. So I'm actually gonna make like a sweet challah and take some in to work. So I'm gonna have to like prep it first thing Thursday. No, is it Thursday? No, Wednesday morning, and then put it in the freezer, not freezer, refrigerator. So when I come home, it would have had time to like cold proof, and then take it out, make the challah and whatnot, be up a nice chunk of the day making that, then taking it to work and everything to share, with my coworkers. Let them kind of, since I gotta sit here, and break criminal. But I say all that to say I'm going to be making a yeast bread. So it was just funny to see that. And you can tell they don't deal with, yeast products like that. Anthony lets us know, and Ty, that initially he thought this whole apology thing was BS because he got the flowers and everything first. And it's just like, what is this? Until he was told about the video and that whole thing, but saw that it is what it was. And, say there's no hard feelings. Alexia brings up Julia's party, and that the location being at Adriana's house, is a little iffy, and she just doesn't know if she can really do it. We get Julia and Adriana. Adriana is going to academy an appointment, and it takes 4 to 6 sessions for this to kick in, and she feels that this will help to bring her back to who she was before. And Julia calls Marisol to invite her to the F Cancer party, and Marisol is kind of going with it up, and then you see Adriana mouthing to Julia, let her know it's at my house. Like, just don't leave that out. And I can appreciate that. Once once Julia did that, conveniently enough, Marisol had an appointment to go to, so she couldn't make it. And Adriana's a little bit upset because she feels like, okay, you're allowing this woman to manipulate you. And I don't really think that's what that is. But it's one of those where, okay, conveniently enough, now you can't come because you know it's at my house. But my whole thing for Adriana is, why you mad? Because you don't want that spirit in your house anyway, so why you mad? You feel what I'm saying? But okay, she gonna keep on, and she gonna mess up a good friendship because Julia rides for this girl. So like, don't do that. So at the appointment, she's given a shot. She has on a face mask, or eye mask, if you will, and headphones. And literally, you can see her going through happy emotions and whatnot, and just going down this road. And then eventually, she sees her brother and her father, who have both passed on. And then that's when she breaks down, saying how it should have been me. I should have went before you, and really having to reconcile a whole lot of feelings. And it was raw. It really was. Like, I was even over here tearing up because I know the feeling of really having to confront things that you chosen to not really address. And it's a beautiful thing because this is going to help her with her healing, because you know she's saying, because she breaks down saying that she never got a chance to say goodbye, and now she has the ability to not only attack but process her emotions and memories. And it's interesting that I saw this because I actually said to a coworker, no lie, on Friday, speaking in general, but also about some that we work with, where it's clear that they have triggers, all this other stuff, and this person uses triggers or certain things that has occurred in their life, you know, as ways of manipulating and throwing it back in people's faces. And I said to him, when it comes to situations that happen in life, whether it be grief, accidents, or whatever, it can be one of three things, and you got to pick what it is. And typically, it starts out as an anchor, where if you drop an anchor, if you're in a boat, you might be able to move forward just a little bit, and the most you can do is go in a small circle, and that is your radius. That is like you're constantly moving, but you ain't going nowhere. And typically, when traumatic or crazy things happen to us, that's what happens. We get stuck in a rut and we don't go anywhere, and we soon realize like life has to go on. And especially for us that are in America, we're not giving the ability to truly process the emotions because it's hurry up, get back to work, da da da. And eventually that anger turns into a crutch where it's helping us to move forward or move in some type of direction. But what then tends to happen is, you know, when something like we meet some resistance, we lean into that crutch where someone go off, but so and so died and da da da, or you know, but my son suffers from this, my child is this, and this is the whole thing of I can't get what I want, so I'm going to use this to deflect, and hopefully I can tap into your emotions and you leave me alone because I still haven't processed it. And some people is not that they, because here's the reality: you can never tell someone how and when to get over something, but it becomes clear if they haven't gotten over it. It's, have you not gotten over because you don't have the resources, or is it that you're choosing to not get over? Because again, being broken gets you more attention. Let's just keep it a buck. And that is some people, and some people will use their trauma and situations to garner sympathy or manipulate people into doing what they want them to do or giving them what they want. Know this all too well. And again, I've done it. You know, we've all done it. You know what I'm saying? It's just some people do it more than others because again, they rather be broken than do the work to become healed. But when you do the work, which it seems like Adriana is on the cusp of it, that crutch turns into a sail. And the purpose of a sail is when the wind blows, it helps to propel you forward. And you get to use the trauma or whatever's going on to help you move forward in life rather than it keeping you in one place or you continuing to lean on it and not do the healing. So I'm hoping that this is helping Adriana. Hopefully that was able to help somebody listen. I hope. So we get Lisa, Kiki, Jody, Larsa, and Marcus there at a Formula One event. Kiki thought that it was going to be an all girls event. Larsa don't care because y'all know Larsa don't care about nobody but her. And honestly, I really do think that's more of one. I mean, she's emotionally unavailable, but it's more of a defense mechanism. And again, it's all about her, so whatever. And then Lisa talks to us about her meeting with Gertie one day earlier. And I actually like this that rather than we get that scene and then it's talked about, I like how they did it to where we just get to see it play out as, you know, a standalone scene. I liked it. So it's Gertie, Adriana, and Lisa. And Lisa says she doesn't want to say who, but knows that, you know, Gertie is going through something, a health problem, and says, I just want to be there for you. And Gertie says she needs to give her all the details. Lisa says, I can't do that. And then Gertie responds, okay, well, if you cannot, then I can't give you any answers. And she says that, you know, the person that more than likely told her, she was testing them, and that person obviously failed. Back to present day, Lisa tells this to Larsa. And again, they're friends and whatnot. And I also feel to a certain extent that she was also testing Lisa. Because again, Gertie and Cap. I know a Cap, baby. I know how we gets down. I just got done talking about Capricorns on Beverly Hills. So Larsa says, you know, she's too old, you know, for this whole testing and whatnot. Of course you are. Of course you are, even though you do the same exact thing. Like, stop playing. And then this is where it's okay. Now you're starting to be nasty and violent. Says, you're sick, and you're not supposed to be yelling and screaming. Then you're not supposed to be drinking. So does she really have cancer? And this is one of those where it's just like Larsa, because Larsa always feels like she's being attacked, and then here's the thing. I ain't telling nobody not to take it to hell. I'm the last person to tell somebody not to take it to hell. But Larsa does not have the bandwidth, nor does she have the situational awareness to know that. And you saying this, you're going to upset a whole group of people, a whole demographic. I don't think she's ready for this backlash. I really don't. Whew. So it's the day of the F Cancer party. Gertie, we found out had to make a post on social media because of Larsa's negligence, and her whole thing is, let me get ahead of this because it's clear that Larsa couldn't keep her mouth shut, and I think Gertie was prepared for this. But in her doing that, she's been receiving flowers and tons of messages and whatnot. And in essence, is a bit of a sensory overload. And again, Russell is there to try to keep her centered, and I can appreciate that. I just hope that Russell stays with her, because whenever I see people, especially on reality TV, going through stuff, it makes me think of Yolanda from Beverly Hills, where she was going through everything she was going through with the Lyme disease and whatnot. And as soon as she started to, I guess, somewhat be on the mend, or right before then, her husband Smooth just up and left, and I was like, ooh, whew, that was a rough reunion to see, but. Anyway, Alexia greets Gertie at the party, and Gertie appreciates, Alexia, reaching out and everything. And Alexia shares that she already knew. And, Gertie is upset because her whole thing is, I should have been the one to tell you. And, yeah. And then Gertie is upset because she feels that it was said in front of people who could possibly blab. Is like, so the fact that everybody knows, because she doesn't believe that Larsa, had the wherewithal to make it to where it was just production and the cast. And you have Alexia saying, like she had genuine concern, and she did pull us to the side, which no, she really didn't. It was just her putting it out there. And again, like, other than you sit here having relations with your ex-husband, teammate's son, like, really what you got going on? Because y'all see I ain't saying nothing about the little podcast thing they doing, because she ain't got no storyline. So okay. And Nicole joins and shares that Anthony has another event that he has to attend, but he's going to try to join them. Hopefully if there's enough time, try to join them. And then they talk about, Larsa blabbing. And I already said what Alexia says, that she understands how Gertie feels, but, Larsa said it from a place of concern. And this is Alexia trying to play Switzerland. Okay. Nicole mentions that Larsa called her and asking if, Gertie is really sick. Is it really real? Because she's confused, because Lisa says that she was testing her. Baby, when I tell you, Gertie is still mad at Larsa, and has every right to be. And again, I know Cap moves. It was, yeah, because here's the thing. I'm going to keep it a buck. I do that sometimes, where I will tell someone, especially if I'm just first meeting you, or even if it's people that I'm related to, because I'm not really close to those that I'm related to, especially with me being on in the military for 11 years. So I will tell different people different pieces of my past, and it's stuff that's real minute. But if it gets back to me, I know who I told it to. I know where it came from. I know how to deal with you moving forward, meaning that I'm not going to deal with you, that you're not going to have any access to me. And again, is that kind of, messed up to do? Yeah. But again, I have trust issues. So thank you for the self-fulfilling prophecy. So I get it. So Nicole says Lisa may not be coming because an article came out where Lenny accuses her of planting a listening device in his car because he loaned her his car, trying to be nice, even though they all looking like Lenny being nice, especially with how he was cutting up last season. Yard. So Larsa enters. She hugs and kisses everyone. I'm pretty sure every girl stands up to like hug, kiss her. Now, when she got to Gertie, I was expecting Gertie to strong arm her, stiff arm her, and be like, man, I've been known to do that. I've actually done that before, but it was just a natural knee-jerk reaction. It wasn't even intentional. But she doesn't even get up. She turns her head to the side, And it was one of those where she was being real cold about it. So it was very obvious. Yeah, I ain't feeling you right now. Larsa doesn't say anything, surprisingly. Um, and then Gertie thinks that they should call Lisa. The girls speculate on the validity, and even with Nicole saying like this could really hurt her because Lenny is trying to say that it was planted so she can listen to private conversations between him and his lawyer, which would help her in the court cases and whatnot, which goes against client attorney privileges and all this other stuff and whatnot. And Gertie's holding, okay, ladies, let's stop with speculation. Let's stop with the gossip. And then Larsa pipes up and says something. Gertie's like, I'm not talking to you. It's so passive aggressive, but I love it. No, that part wasn't passive aggressive. I'm sorry. So then I think it was Adrian that sensed the tension, like, let's just get up and have a toast. And then Gertie says, yeah, because, drinking is not on my doctor's not to do list, so I'm going to have a sip. That part was passive aggressive. I prefer for her to be straightforward, but again, she beefing. I make certain allowances when you beefing with people, so it's okay. And Nicole convinces Larsa to call Lisa because she's the closest to Lisa. Lisa answers, and also because she feels that Lisa will answer if it's Larsa compared to anybody else. She calls and Lisa lets them know that yeah, the police just showed up to my house, and I guess it's because of the article and whatnot. So we will pick up from there next week. And I can't tell you what's going on because again, I watch everything on Peacock. And they don't tell you next time on da da da. So I don't know what's happening next episode. But with that being said, I will catch you all back here tonight again if the cable is cabling for Real Housewives of Potomac. If not, you'll get it tomorrow when it drops on Peacock. And the Whether You Like It or Not panel talking about Potomac will be on Simply Sakina's channel, so make sure you're there. Bring a vegan dish and all that good jazz. And y'all know we're gonna turn ish in the sunshine because that's what we do. So I love you all. Y'all have a blessed evening and a great start to your week. And I will see you all back here for Potomac. All right, peace out.